Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to another Champions League Fantasy Update video. Now, in this one, we are going to be doing it different. Now, usually I do a separate video for the limitless team selection and I do a separate video for the wildcard team selection. But this time around, it's different because it's match day 6 and there's not too much difference between the two because usually you have your wildcard. Let's say you play your wildcard in match day 4, you have to consider match day 5 and 6 as well. Let's say you play it in match day 2, you have to consider the next 4 match days as well. But this time around, your wildcard basically is just for match day 6 because we all get another wildcard by the end of the group stage to try and maneuver try and maneuver our team through to the next round, the knockout stage. So there's not really much of a difference there. You're playing your wildcard basically like everyone else is playing their limitless chip, basically with 1 week in mind. The only difference is the limitless chip, you can spend as much money as you want, but the wildcard, you have to keep it at 100 million. That's the only difference. So I've put together one team that can serve the limitless users and the wildcard users. This team on screen is costing 109 million. So on a limitless chip, you can make whichever changes you want. You could bring on Salah for someone else who's cheaper without caring because you have all the money you want to spend. But for the wildcard, you have to try and take this team from 109 million to 100 million. So I'll be telling you the changes you could make and to afford this team because for the limitless chip team selection, you could think about the likes of Salah, De Bruyne, but all of them might not play in match day 6. So there's not too many people to choose from. And that's why I've done this video together. So hope that one is understood. If this video is of any help, make sure to hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and help me get to 500 subscribers as soon as possible. So let's get straight into it. Let's now get straight into it. So let's start with the goalkeepers. I've put Donnarumma there in goal because PSG have a home game against Club Brugge. But Donnarumma has played 3 games and I think 2 games, and Keylor Navas has played 3 games. So that's how hard it is. You don't know who's going to start. Literally do not know who's going to start. There's an option, if you're playing a limitless chip, there's an option of putting Donnarumma in and then Keylor Navas on the bench. If you really think PSG are going to keep a clean sheet, you could go with both goalkeepers in the team without caring about the Wednesday fixtures. I prefer having a goalkeeper playing on Tuesday and a goalkeeper playing on Wednesday. But if you really feel PSG are going to keep a clean sheet, you could go with both of them. So whoever starts comes in. That could be the way. That could be the way. But with that, you're actually not allowed to bring in someone on Wednesday. You're not allowed to make the manual subs. If you actually, let's say Donnarumma starts and Donnarumma doesn't start, and you have Keylor Navas on the bench who has played on the same day. For Keylor Navas to come in for Donnarumma, you should not make any transfers for Wednesday or substitutions for Wednesday. That's the only way they can make the automatic substitutions for you if you don't make the manual substitutions. So if that is not well explained, you can take a look at the rules on the rules page. I think it's on their app and their website. But if you play the game, you know what I mean. Like you can't make manual subs if automatic subs cannot be made for you if you've made manual subs. It's so confusing, but it's very easy to understand. So I've put Donnarumma there and Neuer for the Wednesday games. He's also going to play against Barcelona. Barcelona need a win or a draw, so they definitely need to score a goal. So if Bayern Munich keep a clean sheet, you'd expect him to make a couple of saves in that game. Also, if they rotate the team, he could get more shots to save. So I've put those 2 goalkeepers. If you're playing your wildcard, you might not have to go with these 2 goalkeepers. You could drop Donnarumma to a cheaper goalkeeper who's playing on Tuesday, or you could drop Neuer to a cheaper goalkeeper who's playing on the Wednesday. It's up to you. Or you can even drop both of them to get the cheaper goalkeepers playing on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Next up, let's talk about the defenders. Currently, I have Nathan Ake of Manchester City, Skriniar, Militao, Otamendi, and Bonucci on the bench. So the explanation for that, I'll start with Bonucci. He's played all 5 games so far. Juventus still have to win their last game to try and get top spot, and they're playing Malmo at home. Should be a clean sheet, really. So Bonucci is there, and he's picked up player of the match already this season as well. Otamendi, I talked about Otamendi in one of my videos, talking about the best differentials for this match day. So I'll link it up in the YouTube card right now. Make sure to check it out. He's a massive differential. No one owns him, and he's already picked up 30+ points so far this season, and he's a ball recovery magnet. So take a look at that video to check out to hear what I had to say about Otamendi. Skriniar, I've talked about him several times. Inter Milan are playing against Real Madrid, and both teams need to get a result to finish top of the table. You don't finish second on the table. You finish second, you could face Bayern, you could face Chelsea, you could face Man City. I don't think any of those teams want that. So they have to try and finish fast. Skriniar is there for that reason. He's playing away to Real Madrid. Might not get a clean sheet, but ball recoveries and stuff like that could help. And Militao as well, same as Skriniar, he's playing against Inter Milan in the same fixture, and is also a ball recovery magnet. And you'd expect him to have a couple of attackers to deal with, like Lautaro Martinez and Zeko. Ake is just a differential. I expect City to rotate, so I don't expect Diaz to start or Laporte to start. Both players to be rested, maybe even John Stones to start with Ake. It's up to you. City played the first fixture on Tuesday, so does PSG. So we are going to get to see their lineups first. And if you're there to see the lineup before the deadline hits, you could change a lot of stuff. If you see Stones starting and not Ake, you could just switch to Stones and remove Ake. If Diaz starts for some reason, you could bring in Diaz instead of Ake. There's a chance he could be subbed off before the 60th minute. There's a lot of risks in match day 6. So Nathan Ake is there, 5.1 million. You're going to worry about the price if you're playing your wildcard, not so much if you're playing your limitless chip. So those are the 5 defenders. Bonucci from Juventus, Ake from Man City, Skriniar from Inter Milan, Militao from Real Madrid, and Otamendi from Benfica. Midfielders, Raheem Sterling, Wijnaldum, Nkunku, Brozovic, and Klaassen. Now, I'll start with Sterling. Sterling hasn't been playing that many games in the Premier League. He's only played recently because De Bruyne is out and Grealish is out and Foden is out. But you'd expect those players to recover. I think De Bruyne has already recovered from his illness. So Sterling is the player to start in that game. But as I said about Ake, we get to see City's team before the deadline hits. So if Grealish starts or Foden starts, you could bring in one of them if Sterling doesn't. And Sterling 10.1 million. If you're playing a wildcard, is one of the players you can downgrade to a cheaper option to save that 9 million I put above the 100 limit. On limitless chip, you could have him, and you could also add another City player if you think the Leipzig game will be a high scoring, like I think it will. I could see a 3-2 or 4-3 in that game. They beat them 6-3 at the Etihad, so it had 9 goals when they first met. Wijnaldum hasn't really started any games so far in the Champions League this season, so PSG already threw second on the table. They could give Wijnaldum some minutes, and he always loves going forward, especially for Netherlands. He could get a goal here if Messi gets rested, or Mbappe or Neymar, or all of them. Neymar is even out injured, so Mbappe and Neymar, if both of them get injured, Wijnaldum could be the guy. Nkunku, as I said, they played against City in the first game. He scored a hat-trick. They still need to win this game or get something to get Europa League football, so they still have to go for it. Brozovic, I talked about him in match day 5. He's already picked up player of the match 3 times so far this season. He has to play very well against Real Madrid to get a result to qualify top of the table. And Klaassen did not play in any of the first 4 games. I did not start, but in the 5th game he started after Ajax had already gone through, and Ajax already through, as I said. So match day 6, I expect him to start again, 6.5. So this one, if you're making a transfer, if you're playing a wildcard, this could be a very good option. Ajax playing against Sporting at home, I can see goals. They scored 5 when they went to Sporting, and now Sporting is coming to Netherlands to play against them. So Klaassen could be an option. You could risk Halle up front if you think he's going to start. He has 9 goals so far. They could want to give him the top scorer, so maybe just start him, up to you. So those are the midfielders. You see there's a lot of risky picks, but I've done a lot of research on this one to get the players who I think are going to start and I think are going to deliver in match day 6. Hit the like button for me, please, if that is of any help. And up front, Benzema, Zapata, Dybala. Now, Dybala, I've already talked about Dybala in the watch list, so I'll link it up in the YouTube card right now. I talked about him and his teammate Morata. Make sure to check it out for more information. 9.2 million on penalties, although he's missed a couple of penalties already this season. I expect him to start. They still need to get top spot. Benzema, you have to have him for match day 6. Many people will have him. He's currently on by 20% or something, but I expect that to rise before the deadline. They're playing against Inter Milan. He's on penalties, must-win game to get top spot. He's there. You could go for Vinicius if you want, but I had Vinicius in match day 5 and it did not work. When Benzema is the guy. And the last striker is Zapata. He's been on top form as well. I talked about Zapata in the must-own players video, again, in the YouTube card and also in the description. All the links will be in the description for all those other videos. Make sure to check them out. So Zapata, Benzema, Diabala up front. Let me go through the team one more time. In goal, Donnarumma and Neuer. At the back, Nathan Ake, Skriniar, Militao, Otamendi, and Bonucci. In midfield, Raheem Sterling, Wijnaldum, Nkunku, Brozovic, and David Klaassen. And up front, Benzema, Zapata, Diabala. So that team can help you if you're playing your limitless chip. You could go for someone like Salah Mane if you want a risky pick in there. You could go for any other risky picks playing on Tuesday as well if you want to just try out the expensive players. If you're playing your wildcard, you need to downgrade some of these players. Maybe you downgrade one of the goalkeepers and also Raheem Sterling, up to you as long as it fits 100 million. This team will cost you 109 million. But as of now, hopefully that is helpful. Very, very hard to get the players for this week. Hopefully all the best in this week. Check out all the other videos. As always, join me for the deadline stream on Tuesday, the reaction stream on Tuesday night, and the reaction stream on Wednesday night as well. And also the fantasy tip show will be out very soon. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll definitely catch up with you guys on the next one.